When we can get our arms around the fact that understanding is critical and fundamental to every healthy, growing, flourishing relationship, we realize, wow, I need to really focus on this, give some attention to it. So the first and major point of our notes this week was know what the goal of communication is. All communication. No one communicates to be misunderstood. In fact, when we are misunderstood, at the very minimum, we feel frustrated. At the more toxic level, we feel fight or flight. We feel offended. We feel insulted. We feel taken advantage of. We feel devalued. So understanding is fundamental and critical. It's what our kids need. It's what our spouse needs. It's what our employees or employer, our coworkers need. It's what our neighbors need. It's what all of us need. Jesus in Mark chapter 7, verse 14 said, he called the crowd to him and said, listen to me, everyone, and understand this. And then he went on to tell them a parable. Jesus didn't want to just be listened to, he wanted to be understood. In John 5:20, it says, and we know that the Son of God came so we would recognize and understand the truth of God. It's one thing to hear truth, to know truth, but to understand it at a deeper level is the ultimate objective, is that I would truly grasp the truth. Jesus says, if you know the truth can set you free. And so he's not talking about a cursory knowledge of it, he's talking about a deep understanding of it. The author of Proverbs in chapter 4 says, write this on the top of your list. Get understanding. Throw your arms around her. Believe me, you won't regret it. Get understanding. Talks about it like it's like a best friend or a lover. Throw your arms around her. Get understanding. Stephen Covey, in his excellent book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the fifth of those habits is wonderful, beautiful, and was probably my first introduction to the reality of this concept. Seek first to understand and then be understood. Seek first to understand and then be understood. The magic of this is incredible. When someone feels understood, we open the door of trust. And when someone feels like they can trust you, we open an even bigger door to love. And love enables us to go in and out of that relationship with a sense of deepening intimacy. Kind of interesting to me is that the fight or flight mechanism, when it's triggered, what the person who's been triggered, remember the button that we have that's so sensitive that gets pushed. Well, first of all, it's not the other person's problem that they push the button. It's our problem that we've not understood the button. The button is probably something that neuropsychologists would tell us is fragile within our own makeup because of what they call implicit memory. It's whenever something took place years ago in our childhood or adolescence, in adulthood, that was negative, injuring to us in a relationship. We don't carry that memory explicitly, like remembering every day, oh, they hurt me so bad, they hurt me so bad. We carry it implicitly under the awareness of our conscious mind. And that implicit memory that's still there, although it's not brought to an explicit sense, is triggered. That's the thing that's getting triggered by somebody's pushing a button. They trigger a memory. The same area of our brain, the amygdala and hippocampus, where emotions are generated from, is also where memory is stored. And so when we are triggered by something from an implicit memory, maybe you had an abusive sibling or parent or coach, and now someone's treating you in a similar way, it triggers that response. and you react in fight or flight, or the other person you're talking to does. In that scenario, we are confounded, both if it's ourselves, what do I do? And also if it's the other person, what do I do? The thing we must have is understanding. If we can give understanding to ourselves, we can talk ourselves off the cliff. If we can give understanding to the other person, we can talk them off the cliff. Terrorist negotiators or hostage negotiators call this empathetic strategy or tactical understanding. Someone who's been trained to negotiate with a terrorist, a gunman, a kidnapper, is trained to connect with that person at an emotional level, at a level that touches their amygdala, their brain, to sense that this person talking to me gets me. They understand me. And when they're trained to do this well, that person that's hostile, that's in a fight mode, can literally be talked off the ledge of whatever they're threatening to do because they feel understood. They feel understood. When you and I interact with others that understand us, it opens us up to trust, and it opens a door to feel loved. A favorite author of mine, David Augsburger, wrote a series of wonderful little books. In one of those, Caring Enough to Be Heard, he said, to be heard is so closely associated with love that the average person can hardly tell the difference. Being heard is so closely associated with the feeling of love, the average person can hardly tell the difference. When you give someone understanding, they're likely to feel loved. They're likely to feel more trusting. They're likely to de-escalate if they are in fight or flight. There is a better way. So, today, seek first to understand instead of be understood. When we are in fight mode, we want to be understood. If we can shift and set that need aside and first seek to understand, 9 times out of 10, the other person will come around and also seek to understand us. I encourage you today, there is a better way. Know the goal and pursue it.